Good morning, TechSoup in Southern Africa nonprofits. A very warm welcome to this morning's very quick Tech Friday SA session. For those of you that don't know, and if you're streaming in on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, my name is Samantha Barnard. I am the Deputy Director of Pambano Technology Development Center. And we at Pambano, we are a nonprofit, just like you are, and we administer the TechSoup in Southern Africa program. So today's session is all about Google for Nonprofits for Botswana and South Africa, as that is currently where Google for Nonprofits is available in our region. We are holding thumbs that Google will afford other countries in our region access to the Google for Nonprofits program. But for today's Tech Friday session, I wanted to just quickly talk you through some top tips when it comes to one of the most popular parts of Google for Nonprofits, and that's your Google Ads. So again, my name's Samantha, a very warm welcome. This is not going to be a very long session because we are very respectful of your time. We've just popped up on your news feed randomly. It's not a scheduled session, so I'm going to aim to try and keep it very short and very sweet for you. Just some housekeeping notes very quickly. Please do use the chat box down below if you have any questions. I can see them on my screen and I will answer them for you as they come up. Or if you do need to have more information about Google for Nonprofits, please do email us. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see our email address, which is techsoup@pambano.org.za. Now, for the remainder of this presentation, I'm going to be behind the slide show. So I'm still here. You just won't see me on camera until the very end. And I'm going to talk you through some tips when it comes to Google for Nonprofits. Now, one of the very first questions that a lot of NGOs in Botswana and in South Africa ask us is, what is Google for Nonprofits? And very quickly on the screen, you can see that nonprofit management resources from Google includes G Suite for Nonprofits, Google Ad Grants, the YouTube Nonprofit Program, and Google Earth and Maps. And if you're wanting to dig deep into each one of these, please go to google.co.za/nonprofits, and you will be able to read in depth about each and every single one of these offerings. But for nonprofits in our region, that's in South Africa and Botswana, I think one of the most popular requests that we get is for the Google Ad Grants. So for the duration of this session, I'm going to give you some quick tips for success. This is directly from the Google for Nonprofits team. We're very thankful that they have shared some of these resources with us, and I do hope that this will be able to assist you, whether you've applied for ad grants and you're just getting started, or even if you haven't started at all and you want to make a good decision about it. Now, obviously, the amount that you can see on screen, which is $10,000 of in-kind advertising every month, is a huge marketing budget. Google will provide this to your nonprofit in the form of advertising credits, and you will be able to market out your nonprofit website on the Google search platform for free, and you can go up to $10,000 in kind advertising. And we are seeing phenomenal results from NGOs using this across the region. A lot of NGOs often say, but $10,000, can we get more? I do challenge those of you that are watching that have the grant. If you have capped at $10,000, please do send me a message. Show me your results, because we have yet to meet an NGO that has actually spent the full $10,000 in credit per month. It's a phenomenal offering from Google, and I wanted to go through some 4 quick pointers with you if you are wanting to apply. So the first thing is that you need to, as a nonprofit, understand that as with all technology donations and with everybody on our program, that is donors, of course, you need to check their eligibility requirements. So Google have their own eligibility requirements. We do not set those requirements. It comes directly from Google, and it is available on google.co.za/nonprofits. Thereafter, the next step is that in order to apply and to be granted this ad grant, you must have a relevant and updated website. And the reason being is that Google is going to check your website during your application process. So if your nonprofit organization website is maybe set up to look as if it's a business, you need to make some changes, because Google is going to look into that and go, hang on, this is a nonprofit wanting to get a massive amount of funding from us in credits for ads. we want to make sure that it's a compliant and an actual NGO. So please make sure you do some work with your website. You set it up for success before you apply, because once you apply for ad grants, you could wait probably 2 to 3 days, and then you've got the grant. It's a very, very short decision-making process. So you want to make sure that your website is not only relevant and updated for application, but you also want to make sure that the minute you are awarded that ad grant, you can actually set up your campaigns for success. Obviously, the next thing that you need to have is a TechSoup account. Please do reach out to us for that. The reason why you need that is because we on TechSoup, we provide the validation token on behalf of Google for your application process. So if you need some assistance with that, please reach out to us. An important note is that on our databases, we update our records once every year for certain NGOs and once every 2 years for other NGOs. So if you log into your TechSoup account and you need to update things like maybe there's a new contact person or maybe your telephone number has changed, please do reach out to us at techsoup@pambana.org.za so we can help you with that quite quickly, especially if you're wanting to apply for things like the Google Ad Grant. Now, you've got your ad grant, you've got a relevant and updated website, and now you're feeling very overwhelmed with this huge amount of advertising credit that you've got. And I wanted to share with you directly from the Google team what their tips for ad success is. The first important thing is to plan your way forward. That comes from everybody from the Google team that works on this program. And what they want you to do is to answer 3 questions. The first question is, what are your marketing goals? Now, this is very different to who do you want to reach? A lot of NGOs will say, you know, one of my marketing goals is to reach new funders. No, that's not a marketing goal. Your marketing goal example could be, I would like to increase my website traffic by 1,000 people a month. A marketing goal could be, I want to increase my Facebook page engagement by 30% each month. Okay, you need to plan your way forward in terms of what are your marketing goals, and please make them bite size, make them a little bit smaller to begin with. Don't overwhelm yourself with this process so that you can easily achieve them and then move on to the next pillar of goals long term in your strategy. Your second question is, how do you currently communicate to your audience? Again, you could put down a list that you communicate with your beneficiaries via SMS. So immediately that tells you that your beneficiaries are using their mobiles to connect with you. So that means that you need to pay attention when setting up your ads to be more mobile friendly, for example. So there's so many ways with just that one question that you can clearly ascertain how to set up your ads, how to create them for success. And then lastly, one of the most important questions is, who do you want to reach online? Now, I'm going to come back on screen just to discuss this quite quickly because it's quite an important one. Because if your NGO answers the question or answers that question with I want to reach donors, I implore you to please dig deeper and to then further write down, what do those donors look like? Are you wanting to reach donors that are retired and can maybe spend X amount per month as an individual giver on a monthly basis? Be it maybe you set up a debit form structure. Or are you wanting to attract a donor that's a once-off large donor? Maybe you want to attract a donor that's a project donor. There's so many ways that you can really detail who you want to reach online. And of course, with NGOs and with this ads grant, you can reach 3 audience groups. Number 1 is your donor audience group. Number 2 is your stakeholder or your partners or people that you want to collaborate with. And then number 3 are your beneficiaries. So also be very clear when you're using your ads to maybe even share resources from your blog or from your programs pages on your website that could possibly help beneficiaries in providing them with resources and not necessarily asking them for funding. Lastly, and I did promise this was going to be a very quick presentation for all of you. Lastly is some tips on how to maximize your online reach. Now, again, this comes directly from the Google team, and they've given you a couple of pointers on screen so that once you've gone through your strategy, you've got your ads grant, you've now set up your ads for success. Now you want to keep that momentum going, and you want to get higher click-through rates. You want to achieve overall spend of the ads budget every single month continuously, and you want to have a long-term strategy. So the recipes for success with maximizing your online reach are in 4 blocks. The first one is you must use effective keywords. So think about the way that people describe your services, describe your NGO. Think about the way that people might want to search for you online and find you, and use those keywords accordingly. Google also have a free tool for you to use, and that's called the Google Keyword Planner. So please go and have a look at that when creating your campaigns, because it is an additional free tool for you to use. The second consideration is to have very clear ads and calls to action. Don't overwhelm your audiences with a very confusing ad. Rather, keep it short and sweet when you are posting your ads on Google Ads, and have a very clear call to action so that your audience knows exactly what they are expected to do in order to achieve what they want to achieve. Thirdly, you must measure your impact. Again, Google has a free tool called Google Analytics. You can link it to your ads account. You can link it to your website. And this is really where the critical online reach sort of analytical data comes from, because you want to know, if an ad is sent to a donor, for example, and they spend over 3 minutes on your donation page, and you're getting good results from it, well, then you know from analytics that you don't need to change your donation page. But if your analytics are telling you that you're getting a lot of donor type audiences coming to your websites and they are bouncing off, they're clicking off your donation page very quickly, it could be because you're not offering them any form of a way to donate to you that they understand. So you must measure your impact through analytics. And then lastly, you must definitely understand your performance. Now, the performance is not based on your website through analytics. The performance is based on your Google Ads. What optimization score do you have? Are they being broadcast to the audiences that you want them to go to? And the beauty of Google Ads is when you're on Google Ads and you log in, it'll actually automatically tell you what your optimization score is for performance. Ideally, for organizations, you're wanting to sit at a 90 to 98% optimization score, which again is another free automated tool from Google when structuring up your ads. So I'm just going to come back on screen so everyone can see me, because this is my very last slide. And of course, it's our contact information if you are wanting more information. But if you want to read in depth about what I've spoken about, I published a blog post this morning for everybody. Again, tips directly from Google themselves. I've also included the Google for Nonprofits YouTube channel. And I've listed some of the top YouTube videos that the Google team have created that answers all of the questions related to this slideshow. Because I do feel that if you are an ad grant recipient and you can spend some time on the Google for Nonprofits YouTube channel, I promise you, you're going to see huge amounts of success with your grant and getting your website out to the entire world, to not only share your brand awareness, but to also do some online fundraising. Particularly now, we're leading up to Giving Tuesday. That's happening soon. So all eyes are on the nonprofit sector online. Who's doing what? How can we match? And then, of course, COVID has taught us that individual giving has gone up. So you do also want to pay attention to some of the resources, because maybe now is the time to make some changes to your website, to launch some new campaigns in December that can attract some individual givings over Christmas time. So I see Angela. Good morning. Thank you for joining us and for engaging with us. And one of your questions is, can you help with examples of what should be in the ad? Struggling with deciding what the wording should look like. Okay, so Angela, that comes down to what type of ad you are going to be sort of promoting. So let's say you are wanting to put out a online fundraising request with your donors, okay? You must be very clear with your heading because then you'll see when you create your ads, there's only limited character space for your headings. So start off with a very good subject line or a heading line, very similar as if you were going to send out a mass email to your database. Thereafter, when you go into your first copy on your ad, you do want to detail that this is most definitely a donation request. So again, it's very difficult to answer your question in terms of what should you be putting in the ad. It all comes down to what your purpose of the ad is. And the beauty of ads, Grant, is that you can run multiple different campaigns. So you can have, ads that are very structured towards donate now, support our cause in order to. Click here to learn more on how to become a permanent donor of our program. If it was a beneficiary campaign, maybe you wanted to upload an ad that says, follow our blog or subscribe to our resources in order to combat whatever the problem is, or help school children access new school shoes by reading this resource. I mean, there's so many ways that you can be very creative and create different campaigns. So to answer that question, it's purely down to what you are wanting to achieve. And then I see also a Google keyword or Google keyword planner. So it's called the Google keyword planner. We just call it Keywords by Google. You can call it whichever one. But again, if you go on to pambana.org.za/blog, my most recent blog that I uploaded has got a direct link to everything that I've just spoken about. And the reason why we're doing it this way is because I don't want to use most of your data or your Wi-Fi or your time on a Friday morning to do a live stream. I do want to be on screen, chat to all of you, but I also want to give you some form of resources afterwards so that you can read through it and not have to use all your data to consume the resources. So I hope that's helped everybody. I really do encourage you to please email us on techsoup@pambana.org.za. You can go onto the google.co.za/nonprofits website. And as always, particularly in South Africa, wear a mask, be safe, have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all for next week's Tech Friday. Take care now.